Hey, welcome to the Rusty Dusty Picker. It's Kevin here, and on to our next project. What we do here, if you're new, is we make interesting things out of random, inexpensive items, mostly as crafts, sometimes to sell, and kind of give you an amateur's how-to on making things from stuff that you find at a flea market, estate sale, yard sale, garage sale, or on the curb. So this piece here is I don't know where I got it from. I know I didn't pay anything for it, but it's kind of cool. It's got the heart at the top. It's got 4 boxes. So as a guy who makes signs frequently, I figured I would put a word in here, stencil it onto a piece of wood, and have a sign. So obviously the word would be love, L-O-V-E, very simple. And I have a piece of barnwood here, very nice. I believe it's cedar, at least it's painted that color. And came across a large pile of this out in Southampton on Long Island, out east, and loaded up the truck. And I did the sanding work already, so it's nice and smooth, and it's got a little border on it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out how to stencil the letters onto this board, and then we are going to assemble it something like that. Sorry if I'm out of frame. And then we are going to attach a hook, a brass and porcelain hook that I picked up somewhere along the line. So it'll be a love rack, so to speak. Family program. Okay. And I'm also going to probably stencil something at the top, just to give it a little more character. And so yeah, so let's get to work. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to map out exactly where the stencils are going, the letters are going to be placed. Figure out how to do that. Probably use masking tape to mark the center of each box. Remove it, and then just stencil in those spots and see if that works out. I haven't done anything of this exact type before, so we'll see what happens. So I'm 100% sure that there's an easier way to have done this, but what I did is I simply put a piece of masking tape where I determined that the center of the letters that we are going to stencil here, or I am going to stencil here, should be. And if it doesn't work out for some reason, you probably won't see this. So let's just get right to work. Start with the L at the top. This color we're using is antique parchment. Once again, I like the off-whites on a dark background, especially when we want things to look aged. Bright white doesn't really work great for me, so don't love it. Haha, get it? Alright, so let's see. Trying to work quickly, of course. Notice I use, I try not to use too much paint. I like the look, the worn look. Don't mind that at all. That's a keeper. So let's go with the V. Definitely was an easier way to do this. 100%. But if it works, it works. Too much paint. That's why you move quickly when you're doing stenciling letters too. Because if you have too much paint, you're not globbing it in one spot. You can recognize it quickly and get it off the brush. I know I sound like I'm preaching, but that's just the reality of it, and I've made so many mistakes doing that just gotta say it. All right. Really curious if I did this right. You know, everything I do here is one of a kind, first time. You know, nothing's mass produced. It's very organic in that way. So there you go. Those are the letters. Now let's see if by chance they happen to line up in any way that makes logical sense. And I'm not unhappy with that at all. So we got away with it. We just adjust this. Yeah, we can get away with that. That'll work. Not perfect, but we can move on. So in addition, what I'm going to do here at the top is I'm going to put a nautical star on the top, just as something else to set the piece off. You know, we're gonna have the brass and porcelain hanging rack assembly put on, but you know, we can always just give it another subtle touch. It's just subtle, nothing fancy, flowery. This piece is something I could see in somebody's entryway or breezeway, place to hang your hat, your cap, your pocketbook, maybe a coat. Just a fun little household piece. Nothing too fancy. So there you go there. I'm going to let this dry. We're going to give this a seal coat now, as soon as it's dry enough for it, and we'll seal this up, get it shining nice. You'll see this cedar red really pop nicely once we do that. So let's do a guitar slap and come right back. All right. So now we have time has passed enough that we can add a clear finish. This is the water-based stuff. Doesn't darken quite as much, but this piece does not need darkening. So it's about 39 degrees in the shop right now, so you might hear the kids sniffling here and there. At least spring is here. That's a good thing. So in this case, I'm going to let this sit overnight, and we'll come right back to it. Okay, so we have it. It's been overnight, and it's been attached. So the two pieces are together. Everything's ready to go. As you see here, I used some masking tape. We have a little bit of extra We have some extra space here on the right side of this. I borrowed a little bit too much from the right when I was quickly stenciling the letters and doing my guess routine and of where to put the letters. So we're going to put a gold border around here. So let me do that real quick. Okay, and we're using a metallic gold paint, as you see here. Anyway, let's let that dry. Okay, so it's ready to go now. It's all dry. You'll notice I added a couple of happy little gold hearts there too, just to give it a little bit more love, so to speak. So it's time to attach the hook. A couple of gold colored screws to do so. We'll throw it on right about there. This should just about end this project. About as simple as it gets. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Finished piece. I'll get you a better shot of it on the way out here. Thanks for joining us. If you like it, subscribe and hit the thumbs up. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down and never come back. Just kidding. Take care.